Hello everyone, I've got some Command and Conquer General 0 Hour gameplay for you, and this is going to be challenge mode on 0 Hour. I'm finally recording it. Finally. I've been struggling so long to get this to actually work. Every single time I've been playing on challenge mode on this game, for some reason, after about 17 minutes I run into an error and the game crashes on me. I don't even understand. I can play StarCraft 2 just fine. But I did some research and I found a couple different solutions and I tried them and nothing was working. So there was finally an update for Windows, the operating system for my laptop, and all of a sudden I'm able to play. I'm not actually sure. Or it's just the fact that this game, the recording I have for you, actually didn't last longer than 17 minutes. It's about 16 minutes, so maybe that's why it didn't crash on me. Anyways, so let's jump right into this. So I'm doing challenge mode on hard difficulty, and I'm going to be doing the Laser General. So General Towns versus General Granger. This mission's actually pretty darn fun. I'm just going to go silent really quick here while the intro goes.
Be advised, this area is under the control of Air Force General Malcolm Granger. Withdraw now, or prepare to be bombed back to the Stone Age. General, you are no match for me. I own the skies. Watch the skies, General. We're gonna put on an air show. Let's give him an air show. Want to see it again?
Alright, so the first thing that I'm going to start doing is create a cold fusion reactor, and then with my second dozer that I'm creating right here, I'm going to create a barracks. And basically what I want to do on this general challenge specifically is get a ton of rangers out for my barracks, and then get the capture building upgrade and just capture all of the oil derricks across the map. And as soon as this first dozer is done creating the reactor, I'm going to put down a supply center. And then with my second dozer, I'm going to throw down one of these laser defenses. And then instantly start getting that capture upgrade. As soon as it's done, I'm going to pump out a ton of those rangers. Then I'm building a war factory. And I'm just preemptively doing this because I want to get a ton of Avengers, because there's going to be a big nasty wave coming from the Air Force General with a ton of Raptors and a bunch of other nasty air units that are going to decimate your base unless you have something to actually stop those missiles from killing you. And I'm only using 2 resource gatherers rather than 3 or 4 helixes, I think they're called. It's been a while since I've played this game. 2 helixes. I'm only using 2 of those to actually gather the resources. Or Comanche? No, Comanches are the... Yeah, Comanches are attacking helicopters. So yeah, those are helixes, I'm pretty sure. So I'm capturing the top oil derrick and the bottom oil derrick, and then I'm going to create 6 more rangers. And with those rangers, once they're created, I'm going to throw them into one of my helixes, and then I'm actually going to... Or Chinook, that's what it's called. I caught it. Chinook. Sorry about that. So with one of my Chinooks, I'm going to load my rangers into that Chinook, and it can hold up to 8 slots. So I'm going to bring that Chinook over to the right side of the map first. I'm going to drop 2 rangers over there. I'll capture this bottom oil derrick here. And then, yep, now we're bringing over the rangers to the right side of the map. I'm getting down another cold fusion reactor so I don't run out of power. And I drop down these 2 rangers here. I'm going to start capturing these 2 oil derricks. And then I'm going to take my Chinook slightly away from those Tau missiles. I don't want to get my Chinook blown up before I actually get to the other oil derricks. This is important. This is why I have 6 rather than just 5, because there's 5 oil derricks, and then there's this supply crate that's just sitting here every single time you start the mission. So I make sure to get that, and then I throw my ranger into a building, a civilian building, just so it'll distract the enemy air forces. And I do that same with these rangers right here. I start throwing them into buildings. And then drop all 3 of my rangers here, and I'm going to capture all 3 of these oil derricks. And then now I'm actually sitting on quite a bit of cash, and I'm just going to start spamming all of these Avengers. I'm going to create as many Avengers as I can. So I got a little glitch right there. There we go. Now my rangers are split up. I'm going to get these 3 oil derricks captured. And yeah, as you can see, I don't even waste my time getting the other supply drops. I just have my single supply center, and then I've played this one a couple times actually, and this one was not my best playthrough, but I definitely do it pretty effectively on this playthrough. Anyways, what you want to do is, if you're doing this strategy, just make like 6 to 8 Chinooks, and you might want to build a second supply center at this point if you're doing that well. But yeah, just build 6 to 8 Chinooks, and then there's like 4 different supply centers plus 2 different supply piles around this map. And you can just have all of your Chinooks fly back and forth from all of these supply centers, and you actually gain a ton of resources by that way. And they all go back to the same supply center, and because there's so much distance separating them, it actually works out pretty effectively for them going back and forth, dropping off resources. And then what's actually really nasty, if you really do want to make sure to have a couple extra Rangers right now, because there'll be a bunch of Rangers from the Air Force General that drop in, and your Avengers can't actually kill Rangers unless you run the Rangers over. So you want to make sure to have a couple Rangers incorporated into your Avenger army, just so you can make sure to kill them. I mean, of course, if you want to run them over, that's perfectly fine too. I just like having the extra Rangers. 1, because you can kill these Rangers, and then 2, the Rangers are going to come in handy in a little bit here. Not quite yet. But I am making sure to keep all of my Avengers in the front of my base like this, because, I mean, the only thing that's actually going to kill these Avengers is Auroras. And those guys, they fly straight in, and they don't actually take any damage until they drop their bomb onto one of your units. So if you really don't want them to actually get killed by anything, smart thing to do is have your units keep moving back and forth. If they keep moving back and forth, those bombs don't actually follow your Avenger. They only land where the Avenger was, or whatever unit they're trying to fire at was. So you can actually dodge those bombs if you keep moving your units. I actually do that for a couple of my one of my Avengers here in a second. But yeah, just like I said, keep your Avengers stuck in the front. And then I've got about 4 laser missile turrets down. I can't actually remember what those guys are called. Laser cannon. Don't actually remember. Sorry about that, everyone. But then I get the A10 strikes, A10 strike 3, because I have 3 general powers. And then I always like to do this right away. I launch that at those 2 airfields right at the right side of the Air Force General's base, because I can destroy both of them at the same time with that A10 3 strike. And just keep on pumping out those Avengers. Yeah, we're like right there. That Aurora came in to blow up my Avenger, but I actually ended up moving my Avengers without knowing it in time, and that bomb completely missed. So that was really good micro there. And as you can see, those 2 airfields are blown up. So the Raptors don't all get built straight into those airfields on this gameplay. Sometimes they actually just spawn out of nowhere, and then they land in his airfield. So if you actually destroy the airfields, then you actually are helping prevent him from creating any more. And then at this point, I'm feeling pretty comfortable. Okay, I think it's time to move out. I'm going to move out with all these Rangers and all of these Avengers. And I know there's no like missile defenders in here right now, but it actually does work out very effectively, just because everything that the Air Force General has is air. Doesn't even have any Humvees, so it's actually a pretty darn effective method. And I should point out one other thing. As you can see, all of those oil derricks are destroyed, so it may seem as if what I did earlier was pointless. But the main reason, I guess I didn't really clarify this before, the main reason I went to get those oil derricks at the beginning was because you get 1,000 resources for the very initial capture of each one. So if there's 7 oil derricks, there's 7 oil derricks on this map, and you capture those, that's 7,000 quick resources right from the get-go. And then plus that supply crate, which is another 1,000 or so. I can't remember how much that supply crate was. I'm pretty sure it was about 1,000. But yeah, so you got those, and then you got to get all those resources. And it doesn't matter if they blow up the oil derricks after that. I mean, those oil derricks are pretty close to the equivalent of one of these supply platforms. But I mean, at this point, you don't even need any more resources, because you can pretty much finish off this whole base. I will create some more units here, but you just really don't need them because you can pretty much just walk straight into his base at this point, because all he has to defend is missile turrets, Comanches, which fire missiles. They do have machine guns, but they're pretty quick to kill. Raptors, which fire missiles. The only thing that might be scary is those Auroras, and even still, those get destroyed pretty quick here, so turns out to be pretty good. And then I've got these, can't actually remember, once again, I can't remember the name of the stealth snipers, but they're one of the, you unlock them with your general powers, and you want to make sure to get those snipers unlocked from the general's tab as quick as you can. Yeah, they say sniper here, but that's not actually their name. But anyway, yeah, make sure to get those guys right away. Snipers are going to be really helpful for this mission because there's going to, if you do end up destroying these bases, there's going to be a ton of enemy infantry that spawn. Every single time you destroy a USA building, no matter if it's a missile turret, reactor, command center, or airfield, Rangers are going to spawn out of there. And then just randomly these infantry units just spawn all over the map. So you also, that's another reason to have these snipers here. And then generally this will go a little bit smoother. I do a little bit of a bad job here. I actually shouldn't even lose any of these Avengers as I walk up into this guy's base, but I lose them because I'm a little poor on my micro, and my Avenger, I actually lose some of these Rangers too. I shouldn't lose my Rangers here. I should have my Avengers further forward so they can actually protect those Rangers, and yeah, that would just better help me to win this base if my Rangers were actually being defended by my Avengers, because the Avengers can stop every single missile that comes out of those Tau turrets, or Tau missile turrets, whatever you want to call them. Now I lost both of my snipers, but I do have 3 more of those snipers at home, so I'm going to make sure to build those. And then here's something else that could have gone better for myself. What I actually tend to do when I'm playing this General's Challenge, I didn't do it this time because I was just like, I don't know, maybe it was because I was in a hurry, but those 2 airfields there, I shouldn't have actually dropped my A-10 Strike 3 on those. I should have actually captured those 2 airfields, because if you capture those airfields, then you can start creating units out of them, and I generally like to create Comanches. Oh, those 2 airfields when you start pushing from the right side here. And then those Comanches will actually, help you to clean up this base quicker. And then I'm making a silly mistake here. I actually end up blowing up my Avengers with my own missile defenders because I don't take their fire off of these Rangers. So right here they're going to start focusing on those Rangers. Yep, and I blew up my own Avenger. That was a really poor choice, or poor move on my part. And then I'm trying to capture these cold fusion reactors in the bottom right corner of the Air Force General's base right now. But I'm going to do that eventually if I can get there. And I made a poor micro right there. I lost another missile defender. This was just really, I'm doing a decent job. Don't get me wrong. Because, I'm in the base. I'm destroying his base. I'm not letting him rebuild and stomp my base. But the micro I'm doing is just, I keep on making simple mistakes that I shouldn't be making right now. Because like I said, I did do better in the past. But we are going to get through this. So I'm going to evacuate these snipers, and then I'll finally be able to clean up all this nasty infantry that keeps on affecting me. And that dozer almost ran over my last missile defender, but for some reason it missed. So I got a little bit lucky there. That turned out to be a pretty good scenario. And then what we should do at this point is start capturing the barracks, because once we have the barracks, then we can create more units out of that. And infantry units, we want more Rangers. So I could create more Rangers at home base, but what we want to do is create infantry Rangers at the Air Force General's base. That way we don't have to actually transport them. And then what we're going to do right now is start loading up all these Chinooks with these remaining missile defenders and Avengers that we're creating at home, and reinforce our units out at the enemy's base. And then we should be able to finally clean up the rest of this mission pretty quick here. So at this point, the Air Force General is actually starting to create some more units, and we don't want that to happen. I mean, if you clean up this base quick enough, you should be able to actually like I think I finished this in 14 minutes before rather versus 16 minutes. And at that point, the Air Force General's first wave is pretty much the only wave of units that you're going to actually encounter. There'll be a Chinook or a Comanche here and there, but we don't actually, if you do it that quick, you don't actually give the enemy enough time to actually regenerate its forces and come back at you. But no need to fear, we have reinforcements, so this is pretty much going to be the finishing blow to the Air Force General's base. We even have the Air Force General's base's command center right now, so at this point it's game over. And yeah, like I was saying, where did these Raptors come from? They just came out of nowhere and ended up in that. I don't even know if they got spawned or built from that the airfield, but no, however they spawned, they are there now. So the quicker you clean up this guy's base, the better, because units just seem to spawn out of nowhere. And I'm just gonna, we're just gonna start dropping down all of our general powers, whatever it takes to finish off this base. And like I was saying before, you want these Rangers, a lot of Rangers, so you can capture the enemy's base. And that's exactly what's happening right now. We're capturing all of these cold fusion reactors. There's just capturing so much. Sometimes capturing is just so much quicker than destroying. And you get buildings in return. I mean, it works out so well. So I think you don't actually need to destroy any of these Tau missile turrets in order to win, and you don't need to destroy these supply drops right next to this supply center that the Air Force General actually has. The only things you actually have to, so yeah, supply centers and Tau missile turrets you don't have to destroy. Everything else though you do in order to win. Destroy or capture, that is. But yeah, like I was saying before, my missile defenders aren't over here, so I'm just going to go ahead and capture these buildings, and then we will have a victory in the bag for the first General's Command and Conquer General 0 Hour Challenge, using General Towns as our general of choice. And there it is. I'm pretty sure that's everything that we have left. So yeah, see, I got that supply center, but I captured this, or I got the supply drop. But yeah, I captured the supply center, and as you can see, that supply drop wasn't captured all the way. But there we have it. You are victorious. So you don't actually have to capture those or destroy those supply centers or supply drops to win. Hope you enjoyed this playthrough, and I'm sorry it took me so long to actually get this recorded. It was a bit of a challenge, but here it is. So thanks for watching, guys. I definitely like to record more of these if you guys want to see it. If not, let me know. Just post how you feel in the comments. I hope this was a definitely enjoyable walkthrough for you guys. Thanks for watching.